Imagine waking up one morning and realizing you could legally shrink your future tax bill, boost your retirement income, and lock in lifetime tax-free growth, all by understanding a few simple Roth conversion rules that most beginners never get taught. Now here is the twist. The people who get this right often end up with way more retirement money than people who spend decades working hard but never learn these rules. And today, I am going to show you the only Roth conversion rules you truly need. But there is one rule that almost everyone gets wrong. And if you stick with me until the end, you will discover the rule that could save you thousands of dollars in retirement taxes. Now, let's break this down step by step. Number 1. What a Roth conversion really is. A Roth conversion is when you take money from a traditional IRA or a traditional 401k and move it into a Roth IRA. When you convert, you pay taxes now so that your money can grow tax-free forever. But here's what most beginners do not realize. A conversion is not the same as a contribution. Converting does not have income limits. Anyone can do it, even someone making $500,000 a year. For example, imagine you have $20,000 sitting in a traditional IRA. If you convert that $20,000, you will owe taxes on that amount this year. But from that point on, you never pay taxes on its growth again. And once it becomes Roth money, it stays Roth money. Number 2. Why people do Roth conversions. The main reason people do Roth conversions is to control when they pay taxes. Most people think retirement is a low-tax time, but that is not always true. Required minimum distributions later in life can push people into higher tax brackets. A Roth conversion lets you choose to pay taxes during a lower tax year, so you avoid a much bigger tax bill later. For example, imagine you're 55. You stop working for a year and your income drops. That might be your perfect window to do a conversion. You might pay taxes at a lower rate now instead of a higher rate at age 73. Number 3. The critical rule of the tax bracket. Here is where many beginners lose money. They convert too much at once and accidentally jump into a higher tax bracket. The key is this: convert only the amount that keeps you inside your current tax bracket. For example, if you are near the top of the 22% bracket, you might convert only enough to stay there. If you convert too much and spill into the 24% bracket, that extra amount gets taxed at a higher rate. This one rule alone can save people thousands of dollars. Number 4. The 5-year rule explained. The most confusing Roth conversion rule is the 5-year rule, but it is simple when explained correctly. Every Roth conversion has its own 5-year timer before the converted amount can be withdrawn penalty-free if you are under age 59 and a half. The earnings still need you to be 59 and a half for tax-free access. For example, if you convert money in 2025, you cannot touch that specific converted amount without penalty until 2030 unless you meet certain exceptions. But here is something beginners love to learn. Once you reach 59 and a half, the 5-year rule becomes much simpler because those penalties disappear as long as your Roth IRA itself has been open for 5 years. Number 5. The age rule many people forget. A Roth IRA needs to be open for at least 5 years to access earnings tax-free. This 5-year clock starts when you open your first Roth IRA, not each time you convert. So if you opened a Roth IRA in 2022 and you turn 59 and a half in 2027, you can take out both contributions and earnings tax-free because the 5-year requirement and the age requirement are both met. This is why financial experts often advise people to open a Roth IRA early, even with a very small amount like $100, just to start the clock. Number 6. The rule about paying taxes smartly. Here is the secret experienced investors know. You pay conversion taxes with money outside of your IRA. Do not use the IRA funds to pay the tax, especially if you are under 59 and a half. If you pull money from your IRA to pay taxes, that withdrawal could be taxed and penalized. For example, if you convert $30,000 and you owe $6,000 in taxes, it is better to pay that $6,000 with cash from your checking account instead of pulling it from the IRA. This keeps the full converted amount growing tax-free.
Number 7. The rule that helps you avoid required minimum distributions. Traditional retirement accounts force you to take required minimum distributions starting at age 73. Roth IRAs do not. This is one of the biggest reasons people convert. If you build a large Roth IRA through conversions, you never have to take money out if you do not need it. For example, someone who has $800,000 in a traditional IRA might be forced to take tens of thousands of dollars per year in required minimum distributions. But if they slowly convert during their 50s and 60s, they could reduce or completely avoid that burden. Number 8. The timing rule most beginners overlook. The best time to do a Roth conversion is often when the market is down. Why? Because your account balance is lower, meaning you convert a smaller amount, meaning you pay less tax now, and you get to enjoy the recovery tax-free. For example, if your traditional IRA drops from $50,000 to $40,000 during a market dip and you convert then, you lock that lower taxable value in. When it rises again inside the Roth, all the growth becomes tax-free. This is one of the smartest strategies long-term investors use. Number 9. The rule about future tax rates. A Roth conversion is basically a tax rate bet. You are choosing to pay taxes now because you believe your future tax rate will be higher. And history shows that tax rates in America have gone up and down many times. For example, the highest federal income tax rate today is far lower than it was decades ago. Many retirement planners believe taxes will rise as the country faces rising debt and aging population costs. If you believe taxes will go up during your retirement, converting now could save you substantial money. Number 10. The partial conversion rule. Many beginners think Roth conversions must be all or nothing. That is not true. You can convert any dollar amount you want whenever you want. You can convert $1,000, $5,000, or $50,000. You can convert once a year or multiple times a year. For example, some people do a small conversion each month so they can spread out the tax bill and avoid accidentally bumping themselves into a higher bracket. Number 11. The rule about Medicare costs. Here is a rule people rarely hear. Roth conversions can temporarily increase your Medicare premiums. Medicare uses your income from 2 years earlier to determine your monthly premium level. If your conversion pushes your income too high, your premiums could increase for a period of time. For example, if you convert a large amount at age 63, your Medicare costs could be higher when you turn 65. This does not mean you should avoid conversions. It simply means you should plan smartly so you do not face surprise costs. Number 12. The rule about Social Security taxes. Roth conversions can affect how much of your Social Security benefits are taxed. When your income goes up because of a conversion, more of your Social Security may become taxable. For example, if someone has modest Social Security benefits but does a large Roth conversion during the same year, they might find that 85% of their Social Security becomes taxable. A planned small conversion strategy can avoid this issue. Number 13. The most misunderstood rule of all. Here is the rule almost everybody gets wrong. You do not convert money because it feels good. You convert because the math works. The question to ask is not whether a Roth conversion is good or bad. The real question is whether it is good or bad for your personal situation. For example, someone in a low tax year might save a lot by converting, but someone in a very high income year might lose more to taxes than they gain. This is why Roth conversions are powerful, but must be planned carefully. Number 14. The break-even rule you must know. Every conversion has a break-even point. This is the point where the tax you paid today becomes worth it because the account grew enough to overcome the cost. For example, if you pay $5,000 in taxes for a conversion and that conversion grows by $25,000 over the next decade, you are far ahead. But if you pay $5,000 in taxes and the market barely grows, the conversion might not have helped. Understanding this break-even point helps beginners avoid over-converting. Number 15. The rule that makes your heirs happy. Roth IRAs are powerful inheritance tools. When your heirs inherit a Roth IRA, they can withdraw the money tax-free. For example, imagine leaving your child $200,000 in a Roth IRA instead of a traditional IRA. With the Roth, they get it tax-free. With a traditional account, they might owe tens of thousands of dollars in taxes. This is why many people use Roth conversions as part of their legacy planning. Number 16. The rule you must master before converting anything. Before you convert a single dollar, run the numbers. Estimate your taxes, check your bracket, look at your future income, and most importantly, ask yourself a simple question. Does paying taxes now make more sense than paying them later? For example, if you're about to retire next year and your income will drop, you might wait until then to convert at a lower rate. But if your income is unusually low this year, converting now could be the best move. Number 17. The hidden rule that could save you thousands. Here's the rule I promised at the beginning. The rule almost nobody knows. The rule that can save you thousands. You do not have to convert all your money before retirement. Many people think Roth conversions must be done before you stop working. But you can convert during early retirement, during gap years, during years before Social Security, or during any low-income period. Those low-income years can be the most powerful Roth conversion windows of your entire life, and most people never use them. Number 18. The rule about state taxes. Many beginners forget that Roth conversions can trigger state income taxes, depending on where you live. Some states tax conversions, some do not. For example, a person living in Florida or Texas pays 0 state tax on their conversion, but someone in California or New York may face an extra tax bill. This means your state can change whether a conversion makes sense this year or next year. Some retirees even plan conversions after moving to a lower tax state. Number 19. The rule about withholding mistakes.
When converting, you can choose to withhold taxes automatically, but this often hurts beginners. Why? Because if you withhold from your conversion, you are shrinking the amount that actually lands in your Roth IRA. For example, if you convert $10,000 and choose 20% withholding, only $8,000 lands in your Roth. That means smaller tax-free growth. Paying taxes separately keeps your full conversion intact. Number 20. The rule about converting employer plans. Many people do not know they can convert funds from an old employer 401k into a Roth IRA by doing a Roth conversion rollover. For example, if you leave a job and have a $70,000 traditional 401k, you can roll it into a traditional IRA and convert any amount into a Roth IRA. This gives beginners more control and flexibility than keeping money in an old employer plan. Number 21. The rule about conversion frequency. There is no limit to how many Roth conversions you can do in a year. You can convert once a year or spread conversions across multiple months. For example, some investors convert every quarter so they can adjust based on market moves, income changes, or tax planning goals. Many beginners think the IRS limits this. It does not. Number 22. The rule about business owners. If you own a small business, you may have a huge Roth conversion opportunity during years when your business income is low. For example, imagine a business owner who has a slow year and earns far less than usual. That year might be the perfect moment to convert because their tax bracket drops. Many business owners use low earning years to convert large amounts at low tax rates. Number 23. The rule about early retirement gap years. If you retire early, you often have several years with little or no income before Social Security or pensions begin. These years are golden opportunities for Roth conversions. For example, someone who retires at 58 may have 5 years of very low taxable income. Those 5 years can be used to convert large amounts while staying in a low bracket. These gap years are one of the most overlooked strategies in retirement planning. Number 24. The rule about the standard deduction. The higher your standard deduction, the more money you can convert before paying tax. For example, a married couple may have a standard deduction that allows them to convert several $1,000s at a 0% tax rate. Many beginners do not realize they can strategically convert money each year while paying very little tax, simply by using the standard deduction correctly. Number 25. The rule of avoiding emotional decisions. A big mistake beginners make is converting out of fear or hype instead of planning. For example, people sometimes convert everything because they hear taxes might rise, but panic conversions can push them into higher brackets and cost them more. The smartest conversions are planned calmly, based on math, not emotion. Number 26. The rule about investment choices. A Roth IRA offers more investment choices than most 401k plans. That means converting can give you more freedom to choose investments that match your goals. For example, someone who wants more aggressive growth investments may prefer holding them in a Roth IRA so the growth becomes tax-free. This flexibility is often a hidden benefit of conversions. Number 27. The rule about market volatility. Beginners often fear converting during volatile markets, but volatility can actually help. When markets drop and rise repeatedly, converting in dips lets you capture recovery inside the Roth. For example, converting after a 15% market drop gives you more long-term tax-free upside when the market rebounds. The key is not timing perfectly, but taking advantage of natural market swings. Number 28. The rule of emergency funds. You should not convert money if you do not have enough cash to pay the tax bill. For example, imagine someone converts $25,000 but has only $1,000 in savings. They might struggle to pay the taxes. Keeping enough emergency savings allows conversions to help you, not hurt you. Number 29. The rule about long-term planning. Roth conversions create benefits that show up decades later. For example, converting in your 40s may feel costly now, but by the time you reach your 60s, the tax-free growth could be enormous. Long-term thinking is why many wealthy families use Roth conversions as part of generational planning. Number 30. The rule of not guessing.
Guessing your tax bracket or future income can lead to costly mistakes. Beginners often underestimate their future required minimum distributions or pension income. For example, someone might think they will be in a low bracket in retirement, but forget about Social Security, required distributions, and investment income. Doing even a basic retirement income projection can show whether a conversion truly helps. Number 31. The rule of lifetime flexibility. You can adjust your conversion strategy every year as your life changes. Income changes, jobs change, markets change, health changes, tax laws change. For example, someone who did not convert for 5 years might suddenly find a perfect window due to a temporary income drop. Flexibility is one of the biggest advantages of Roth conversions. Here is the question. Which of these Roth conversion rules surprised you the most, and what do you think your biggest challenge will be when planning your own conversions?